So yeah, man, how you doing?
Oh, good. I'm good, man. Just existing in this weird time that
Yeah,
is no time and all time at the same time. I don't know how to say it, but
dude.
it's
Like,
crazy.
remember like 600 years ago when like your dad would be a farmer and then you'd be a farmer and then your son would be a farmer and then your grandson would be a farmer because nothing changed?
Or you would also, but you could just be a farmer, and then one day 10,000 Mongols would be on your field over there. That could also happen,
Oh
like
man.
that's you depends. These are the different ancestries. This is what I
Yeah.
think of. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
What,
So
what I was getting at was like now it's like every 2 weeks some big shit happens that changes the game.
it's crazy.
It's like, sorry, I got a cough drop. Absolutely insane, man. And it's, man, such cool times.
That's
Yeah, I think it's one of the most amazing times to be alive. I'm super psyched about it, and it's super difficult, and it's like, I don't know. It's like transition, but whatever.
what it's transitioning to is remaining to be seen. So we will. So
Yeah, man.
that's the thing. We'll see where we go.
Yeah, man. So let's kick it.
Kick it.
Cool. So Gabriel Marin, I've known you for a few years now. I first saw you play at the Brooklyn Bowl with Kung Fu. You were playing Stratus.
That was so cool. Yeah, that
So
album,
cool.
Spectrum, was one of my favorite albums when I was in college. That shit was like, I was a huge early Fusion fan when I was, and that album I listened to like, 600 times.
Yeah. So I was pretty blown away by your playing because I think you're pretty good.
Thank you.
And I emailed you and we did some lessons, and that was super cool, man. And it's been a long time since I've seen you. I think I saw you on the subway like 2 years ago once. That was pretty cool.
That's the thing about New York, man. You run into everyone on the subway.
Dude, I ran into
Shit.
I stepped off at Metropolitan and Jonathan Scales was there.
That makes sense.
I saw those blue eyes. I was like, bro, are you Jonathan Scales? And he goes, this is the first time anyone's ever recognized me.
Yeah, I'm from New York, so it's been, luckily, it happens a fairly regularly here, because like we came up playing in New York. I'm born and raised here, so this is
yeah. So that's how I came to know you. Would you like to just give us kind of the elevator pitch on Gabriel Marin, brief personal history, musicianship, guitar playing, hat wear?
Yeah. I play fretless guitar and normal guitar, and then a bunch of two-string instruments called dutars from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
My most of the great majority of my guitar playing and musical existence at this point in time has been studying different started with Eastern European music, and then I was deep into the Indian music and Turkish music and Persian music and music from Central Asia. And right now I'm studying about like 4 times a week the music from Azerbaijan. So I'm really trying to get that under my fingers. So, and then Western wise, I went to school for classical music, but like my favorite Western stuff improvisationally is like late 60s, early 70s free jazz.
Yeah.
And I also love stoner rock and grunge music.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and stuff. So if you took all of that shit and you put it in a blender, and then you added a lot of science fiction stuff, because I'm a huge sci-fi nerd, so I like all my sounds to be really, if I'm going to play really old traditional music, the way I'm just going to sound is I want it to be more futuristic-y sounding. So
yeah, man,
that's kind of how I sound.
Your late night videos are so bizarre, man. People just send you pedals.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a lot of pedals. I've always been a big turner of knobs. I remember when I was in high school, some of those times where I should have been practicing, but I was, playing my guitar with quarters and turning the knob on delay pedals and stuff to see what that.
Tom Morello.
always wanted to know about sound stuff, and that, you know, again, for the free jazz stuff, saxophone players, they can always get a whole world of sound that I need electronics to be able to access.
Yeah, man, I love it. Oh man, I keep thinking of some new questions I want to add. Did you read the questions I sent you?
Yeah, totally.
Can you do a brief 2-string thing demonstration when we're doing guitar stuff later? Not right this second.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just remind me later that'll be cool.
I have a few of them.
Oh man.
So I could.
Tell me. So Gabriel, what is the best brand of humidifier? I gotta ask.
I don't know about this. I don't do this shit because like I have some instruments here that one of them is made with the heart skin of a goat. I have one at the belly. It's fish skin belly. All sorts of weird woods. I've only had one crack.
Yeah.
In all the years, and unfortunately, it was my main one, and it's being dealt with right now. But like that's a crippling one. It's like my favorite, like my first Dutar. You know, I've had it for like, you know, a long time though. So, but yeah, I don't really mess with that. I keep my house pretty cold. I'm a very cold weather person. So
that would help, I guess.
I try not to ever really let it get above 68 degrees. We're talking about is that maximum.
Yeah, I guess that would kind of help keep them from drying out.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in it. What's consider the horse? What is it?
It's the. I remember once the best we saw was the Consider Source. We got written up. The Consider Source, and I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, man, that's funny. So you play guitar in that band. How do you see yourself How do you see yourself and think of your role in Consider the Source?
So it's just we have like these three really natural roles. The whole thing of this band has just happened. It's like nothing is like a forced thing. Everyone is kind of just gets to do their thing, and it happens to work really nicely together. So at this point in time, it just really depends on like what the song is. Normally, sonically, I kind of think sonically I'm like the singer role. I played like the singing melodies.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so like that's it. But like when it's writing, you know, we all write together. We all have equal say in the ideas, you know. And so, you know, especially because we've been playing together so long, you can't really tell who wrote what anymore. Maybe on our first couple albums, it used to be maybe I would write the prettier stuff and John would write the crazier stuff. But now John will write the most beautiful shit and I'll write the song in 17, you know, just as we've influenced each other so much that it's just like whatever song will be presented for me to play on, I'll be very happy to play on it. And I know when I present a song, whatever will get played, I'll be super happy with. So I always joke that like we are actually one of the few actual democracies of things, that it's just like there's three of us, very easy number, and none of us, we really care about each other's opinions, and we care about each other. So no one wants to be like, I'm going to get my way even if you don't like it. It's like if I really like something but the other guys don't like it, I'm going to be like, is it right? Same thing. If someone brings an idea and I'm like, I'm not vibing with it, they're not going to try to force it. They're going to be like, because we know there's no ego of that. It's just kind of like what serves the three of us best. That's really what we try to do. So kind of have like the role changes from song to song.
Yeah. Beautiful. So man, I love power trios because you have so much room to move around. Like everyone, like you can play your whole, like you got room to move as much as you want. You can do this part, you can do that part, you know, like you can play slow, you can play fast. Yeah. Speaking of that, so you were saying a minute ago about playing slow, but sometimes you also play fast.
I do play fast.
Yeah. What's the first thing people have to know about if they want to play fast?
That there's two things. There's the technical thing, which is you need to be able to do it from a technical point of view, because it doesn't sound good if it's like not done right. So you need to be able. But then
Eddie Van Halen,
right there could be that, and I've seen that, you know. And then the main thing though is why is like, are you playing fast to show people that you can play fast? Because then you shouldn't do it. Like I talk fast. I say a lot of shit. Like that's my thing, because I talk a lot. When people ask me questions, I'm not like, I'll be quiet, but then I have so when I play, if I'm gonna play, I'm gonna fucking go for it, and I play kind of like my personality comes out. Sometimes I speak a lot. So that's why I play fast. It never seems like I'm gonna show you guys what I can do, because if I did that, I'd play crazier shit. But often it really seems like fast stuff comes from this point of view of I want to win a reader's poll. I don't know what else to play necessarily, so I can just do this. And that, definitely when I was younger, we've all been guilty of that, of just like, I'm not sure what else. Here's this energy. Speed can bring this physical energy from you as a player that can kind of translate. So,
Man, I've been watching you play for a long time, and I'll tell you, I've never once thought like this guy's playing a bunch of nonsense. It always seems like you're speaking. Like
because gets my main influences are always wind instruments and sax players and stuff. And like it's funny, I lose my voice a lot at shows because like I'm grunting and breathing. I breathe out as I play and breathe in, so I don't try to play phrases that are too long for wind instruments and shit. So I mess my voice up often. Like a show comes, I'm like hoarse afterwards. I'm like, I don't even sing. I'm fucking glad about that. So.
Oh my God. I've tried to get your attention at shows so many times, and you are like in a trance, bro.
I'm trying not to. I've missed naked ladies in the first row dancing. I've missed cops coming in and arresting someone during a show. I've missed all sorts of crazy shit that people ask me about afterwards. I'm like, I had no I did not know any of it.
It's like you're somewhere else. It's
but if John or Jeff play a fill, I know exactly what they did. So it's like I'm super listening to the situations. It's like not, sometimes you can go like there's guitar zone where you're just like in your own zone. And I always want to be more in the listening. I get all of my stuff from what they're doing. Like that's why I pause. If you notice and consider the source songs, there's often like an 8-measure pause before my solos start. Yeah. I'm kind of clearing my head of shit, and I'm seeing like what they're doing, and like if one of them does a fill, I'm gonna make my starting point what they just did. Right. So it's gonna be totally improvised. I'm not gonna be like, here's the shit I know. It's gonna be like, well, they just did da ba 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 ba. So I'll start ba 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 ba, and then I'll fucking go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying like you're in a trance, but I've never thought you seemed out of touch.
No, that's good. Thank you.
So I had a guest question.
Yes.
There's this great electronica / jam / dance band from Buffalo called Space Junk. They are good friends of mine, and I was texting the bass player earlier, and I was like, yo, do you want to ask a guest question for Gabriel? And he was like, totally. So I just want to put this up in case anyone wants to see it. Space Junk Buffalo. They're a great band, and when we can get back into the Roaring 20s after all this crap, they're totally going to slaughter with machetes.
We'll be in Buffalo, hopefully. When
we
can. Be like playing Buffalo, and shout out to Buffalo. Buffalo's a real fun.
So Will's question was, from where do you pull inspiration for your style and phrasing? Do you try to emulate guitarists or other musical instruments? Your unorthodox style sometimes sounds almost saxophone-like, even without MIDI. Any thoughts on this? That's from Will Thompson of Space Junk.
Good question, Will Thompson from Space Junk. So we'll work backwards. The first thing is, most of my influences are wind instruments. Especially for the more like Western style phrasings. Like as far as like Western style improvisation, late Coltrane, not like Giant Steps Coltrane, which is great. I'm not attracted to music with a lot of chord changes necessarily. That's why I like the free jazz or the jazz more. So late Coltrane, Farrah Sanders, David S. Ware, Eric Dolphy, these guys are like this is the language that I kind of take from that. And then it's always non-guitar instruments, so like very, very few of my influences are guitar players, and the ones that are guitar players are all guitar players that try to not make it sound like a guitar anyway. So I never think in terms of guitar. That's why it always sounds weird and stuff like that. That's why it's very interesting, because I just don't pay attention to guitar players. So sometimes when I hear a guitar, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's so different than how I approach the instrument,
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks, Will Thompson.
So yes, a lot of world instruments, you would say.
Sure. Oh yeah, you mentioned Mongolia earlier. Are you into Batsarig Vanchig?
See, that's a funny thing. I don't know much Mongol music. All the throat singer stuff I know is like Tuvan music.
Yeah. He does that stuff.
Great. Seeing those guys live. Alash band is another good Tuvan band. But it's like, again, the Turkish music, the Persian music, the Azerbaijani stuff, the Indian stuff, and then of course the Eastern European stuff, because I came up doing that, so I've been doing that for the longest.
Okay, I see. Well, thanks again to Will Thompson. Let me take this cough drop back out. Thanks again to Will Thompson, Space Junk Rules. Okay, I got a funny one here for you, buddy. I can't wait for this one. How did Vigier take it when you Frankensteined that free double neck Excalibur / Surfretter they sent you?
So, this is a diplomatic question that requires a diplomatic international relationships between America and France at play here. So basically, it's interesting. I love their instruments so much. I have a single neck from them that I play all the time whenever I go overseas. I play like gigs where I just am playing, Persian or Turkish music. I take the single neck. It's basically like it's certain. Some people were sanctioned it, some people didn't know, but the judgment is always like what it can do. It can do things that no other instrument can do because of the electronics and because of how I play it. So it kind of is like there's a begrudging acquiescence because of like I'm just gonna make it as good as I can and just kind of like do my best. I love the company that they make such great instruments. It just needed to be. I'm a weird player. I couldn't really play someone else's signature guitar. Yeah, it just I'm different physically. My hands didn't fit in the axe. I'm a big dude. I have these crazy electronics from Paul Vaux. I had this endorsement from him. I have all these interesting things that I needed on the instrument, so it just had to be put together. The main thing was just a physical thing. I couldn't fit my hands or body around the instrument, so it had to be something that's made. This guitar is gigantic. If you see a normal sized person pick it up, it's hilarious how big it is.
Next time I see him lesson for a person, I'll see if I can hold it without falling over.
It weighs 22 pounds.
Oh, I want to use bad language regarding that. I can't even deal with Les Paul. But Gabriel, how did they take it?
Basically, I haven't. I'm still an endorser.
Okay.
I'm still an endorser. If NAMM happened this year, I would have been there.
Okay.
So, I guarantee you there will be some words spoken, but I don't speak French, so maybe I'll get to miss out on the more extreme of the curses.
I get it. Okay, I get it. Oh man, you've got some stones on you for doing that, bro.
That's a statement. That's true. That is I've always been like, look, I'm just going to try to make it worthwhile. The sounds that I make with it has always been my my go-to answer for anything. As long as I work hard enough, I can justify what I want to do.
And you play good.
Thank you.
So I was talking to Tim P last week.
Tim was great.
Yeah, Tim rules. Tim, his solo thing, and then he plays fast in the band. Like he's the guy who I want to play like.
Yeah, so, Tim's great, man. He knows every song. He's
dope. So we had a great little talk, and I had a question that I asked him that I wanted to ask you. So what are like one or two guitar licks that sound totally awesome but are actually pretty easy to play? Like.
Okay, so check this one. I got one right off the bat.
Nice. And after this, we'll do the.
Sure.
Yeah.
So check it out. So this is here's a pick. So this would be can you hear me? Let me turn it a bit. Good volume?
Just a little more.
Cool. Cool. So this would be across a one string line, and it's just like a bunch. It's an A minor, a natural minor, except the very last two notes go to the harmonic minor. So
you're a half step down, right?
Yeah, and I'm a half step down. I'll consider this. I've always been a half step down. We've always been a half step down. So it's groups of 6. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then. So then you just take that pattern down. So it's like fast and like slow. And then I could also, since I'm starting on the root, I could start up here on the 5th, do it down there, or here the 3rd, or you can move strings. Since here's my root note, if I move it down strings, let's say to the G string, C minor. So that's, it's not just across one string.
Okay, and one more time, slow.
Yeah. So fast.
Nice. That's a good one. Do you want to do another one, or
Sure.
do you...
What's another good one?
I always like tapping stuff. There's a lot of easy taps.
My tapping stuff is always like more compositional.
Okay.
So like all my if you want a tapping thing, here's a rhythmic thing. That's kind of interesting. It's from our song Put Another Rock in That Bag. You tap twos, like it's a B minor triad, a root and a third, not triad, dyad. In groupings of two, and then when you're left hand, you're gonna tap rhythm of seven. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. So we have our twos, and then our sevens. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1. So it's 7 7 6 6 5 5. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
All right.
1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. So that's seven. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 6 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 5 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3. And then you keep the main thing is to keep the stew steady and don't switch. Don't be like 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1. It's a 1 1 2 1 2 1 2. So your downbeat is like shifting between hands. So for you, it would be B flat minor, I think.
I tuned down.
Oh, awesome. And then you move it down a half step and you do sixes. So that becomes three. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And then 5 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3.
I wanted to get that one little part. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I got pretty close on that first part.
Yeah, so it's not as hard. Like I'm not a tappist.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So those were two dope licks, and so now I have one more question. Oh wait, no. Can you do the
Sure.
two string thing?
I'll grab this one. I'll grab the big one. So this is my biggest dutar. This is It's a Uyghur dutar. It's decorated. It's a camel bone. The little things on it.
Nice. Beautiful, Gabriel. I appreciate that. I love it when you play that thing.
Yeah, I love these guys. This is they're fun.
Cool. So to cap off the interview section before I got a couple lesson questions for you. Who has the best character on The Mandalorian, and why is it Bill Burr?
I mean, it's Bill Burr because Bill Burr. Bill Burr is the greatest character just because he's Bill Burr. So anytime he exists, he's going to be the fact So I like. Again, the other part of my house is that I do like Star Wars a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I have a fair amount. I had Boba Fett on my pedal board. We have a Boba Fett bobblehead in the van. So since I was a youngin', so I was like, okay, The Mandalorian. Let's see, because I did not like what they did with with Boba Fett in episode 1, 2, 3. Had some bullshit. It's some definite bullshit. But I'm sorry if I'm cursing too. You said
No, it's fine.
So Mandalorian.
You should have heard Tim when we started talking about the election. Oh my God.
So Mandalorian is great. Bill Burr is great, and together they definitely embiggened each other in a most cromulent fashion.
Oh my God, I love The Simpsons. So after his character was on that show, somebody went and edited his Wikipedia, and it said for the character's name, place of origin, it said Space Boston.
I mean, it really is. It's great. He's definitely clearly like he wants to be like, you're wearing sandals. You know, he wants to just Bill Burr. I hear all like the Bill Burr comedy lines coming out of his mouth every time.
It's if Bill Burr was in space. He's Bill Burr he's if Bill Burr was a sharpshooter in space.
No complaints. Love that show. It's a great show. Although everyone's good on it, no complaints.
Yeah. Okay, man. Well, so that's good for the interview portion. Gabriel Marin, it's been an absolute pleasure with the interview. Let's move on to the lesson.
Awesome.
And so you do some pretty cool single string slidisms. Can you show an exercise or two for a single string? You know that stuff you're always doing.
Most of the slide I'll do it on the fret and neck.
Please.
So that's mostly from the South Indian stuff. So that's like the South Indian music is called Carnatic music. So
can you scoot your camera down a little bit?
Most of my sliding stuff on this neck is from that, derived from Carnatic South Indian classical music. So a good one would just be, first is just, get used to playing scales up the neck. So take a scale, maybe some minor scale. So I'm kind of just going up the scale first with my first finger a slide, and then my middle finger playing 4 notes at a time. Right? And then do it with your middle finger. And then another good one to do is you take that 4 notes and then you run as a scale pattern. So I could say, because you do that sort of, when for those you need to be able to see them as the connecting lines between notes. So that's a good one. Just going 4 notes at a time. And then another good one would be the leapfrog.
Yeah.
Something like root third, second, fourth, third, fifth, and then coming down fifth, you go root, sixth, seventh, fifth, etc. And different rhythms. So it could be, or those are different slides. They require different physical things.
Okay. Nice. Gabriel, that was beautiful. I had a couple other questions, but I feel like we've covered a lot of really good ground. I feel like we really got a lot out of this half hour. I think I'm just going to publish the thing from the start,
Cool.
Yeah, I'll probably have it up on Instagram in a little while. So yeah, you approve, right? We're good?
Oh yeah, definitely. Send me, I'll probably ask for a minute or 2 edits so I can post a small thing with a link to your video. So I can take a minute edit, post on my Instagram and just be like, hey, I did this full interview with so.
Okay, well, I'll put mine up. You tell me the part you want, and then I'll clip it, and you can grip it.
Exactly. That'll be perfect.
Okay. So, just text me your PayPal address, and...
Gabriel Marin Guitar at Gmail.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Good to see you.
Yo, it's good to see you, too. Yo, check this out. Matt Cross, did you see this? He's a pro wrestler, and he made this shirt.
That's amazing.
I had to get it.
You have to. There's no way around it. That's great.
He's got 50,000 followers on Instagram, but me and him keep in touch and stuff. And I don't know. When I make Matt Cross guitar shirts, I'm gonna send him one, and then we can do a picture sometime.
Every other Gabriel Marin is Spanish, first because it's so funny. They're all Gabriel Marin, and I'm just there's one's a violin player, I think, which is interesting, but that's cool.
I've been trying to get Matt Cross to do. I've been doing all these. Do you use the acapella app for collabs?
No, I've never messed with that.
Dude, it's so easy. I can start something with somebody and have it up on Instagram in 20 minutes because it takes like one take to do a rhythm. And then I send it to my friend and they sing over the rhythm. And then they send it back to me. And in 20 minutes, I've got a collaboration up on Instagram.
Fucking, that's some great. That's the internet, man. I'm bad at that shit.
It's a real easy app. Can I send you one and maybe just you try it out? I think you're gonna love it.
So do I need to get the app?
Yeah, but it's an iPhone app. It's free.
Yeah, no, I just got to make some room on my phone is full of stuff. I film all my little videos on it for making riffs. And the other day I was filming a riff.
Totally. No rush, but I'll send you something. And great to just, because it'll only take you 5 minutes to go like, and do your stuff.
Sometimes I do that. So that wouldn't be that much for me. So totally.
Cool, man. All right. Well, this has been super cool. Once again, shout out to Space Junk Buffalo. Everybody check him out. Gabriel Marin, I look forward to our reunion, but this has been a lot of fun. And, let's do this again sometime.
Peace, man. See you soon.
Peace, man. Good night.